Tomorrow, Cincinnati City Council will take a look at a plan to reduce or drop charges against people arrested for breaking the curfew during the protests. The Law and Public Safety Committee discussed a possible path forward today, but every option comes with some strings attached. WCPO 9 News reporter Kristen Swilley breaks down why some who were arrested would rather fight the charges in court.
Vice Mayor Chris Smitherman and Councilmember Jan-Michele wanted the charges against peaceful protesters flat out dropped. They got some pushback from the city solicitor's office, and they ultimately agreed on a compromise list of options for protesters. One of them is agreeing not to sue the city in exchange for that charge being dropped, and protesters I spoke to say they are not even considering it.
They felt that they were right to try to lock me up, and it's unjust.
Darius Clay has been protesting for more than a decade and says he isn't afraid of a fight.
I know me personally, I am going all the way through. I'm going to get found not guilty for these charges, and as I get found not guilty for these charges, I will sue.
He's one of 513 people arrested on a charge related to violating the curfew since protests across the city started last week. The solicitor's office will offer protesters only accused of violating curfew 4 options: a guilty plea in exchange for a misdemeanor charge that will be expunged, a diversion program, a reconciliation program, or having the charge dropped entirely in exchange for giving up the legal right to sue the city. The solicitor's office says dropping the charges outright sends the wrong message.
We think it is important to make a stand that it was in fact a violation of our law.
I think it's a really problematic offer to put on the table.
Jacqueline Green with the Ohio chapter of the National Lawyers Guild doesn't think those options make for fair trade.
To push them to give up their rights, to give the city a pass for what was abusive conduct is just an unacceptable position, for the city to take.
It would politicize prosecution, which would be a dangerous thing.
They know if we sue them, it's going to look very bad on them because we're going to win our cases.
I did speak to one protester who tells me he would consider some of those options in order to clear his record. Cincinnati City Council will vote on the motion on Wednesday. The city solicitor's office will make the final call. Kristen Swilley, WCPO 9 News.